by making Ribollita soup. This is the northern Italian version of minestrone soup that we're so used to. Ribollita is way heartier. It's got cabbage in it and Swiss chard. And traditionally, it's got bread. They would use leftover bread, add to their soup to thicken it up. I'm not going to do that today, but it's really nice. And you'll see that version in restaurants everywhere in Tuscany.
I have 2 large carrots. I'm peeling them and I'm going to cut them down, and you want to make them soup size. Let's put that aside. There's a whole onion. It's a sweet onion. I like to cut sections of it and then go the opposite way and chop it, and then you'll have a nice dice. So put this aside too. I'm going to finish off that second half of the onion. Now I have 3 garlic cloves. If you cut them in half and then you peel them, it's so easy to clean up some garlic. I want to mince this really fine. You never want large pieces of garlic in your food, so you're going to do that and put this aside. Zucchini and summer squash are usually in minestrone soups and the Ribollita soup, so take off the ends, cut them in half, and then scale these down once again to a soup size. Cut long sticks and cut those sticks into small pieces. You'll want to do exactly the same with your summer squash. You can really add all kinds of things to your Ribollita soup, but this is very traditional. I'm going to cut these down once again and get them into soup size. Anything that will fit on a spoon is the way to cut. Now that all of my squash is prepped, I'm going to work on some cabbage. This is what makes it very northern Italian. The cabbage is a very hearty part of the Ribollita soup. So shred your cabbage and then cut it the other way, and you've got a nice bowl there. I have beautiful Swiss chard, and this is a red Swiss chard. I'm cutting off the stems, but you could definitely add them to the soup. I want to keep that center stem intact too. Cut the opposite way after you do these long cuts, and you'll have a nice shred. We want this cut down pretty small so it works really well in the soup. Cut some string beans into small pieces. Now I have some fresh sage. This is definitely a northern Italian flavor. I have about 6 or 7 leaves, and I'm going to mince those down. I'm also going to add some fresh thyme. About 4 stems are perfect, and just remove the leaves from the stems. It's really easy. These are going to be great flavors. I have some extra virgin olive oil. I've added about 4 tablespoons of the oil to the soup pot, and now goes in my onions and my carrots, and I'm adding salt, and this will really sweat your onions and add beautiful flavor to the soup. I'm cooking these down until they're really soft and tender. I added the garlic, and now I'm adding the sage and the thyme. Stir that up so everything's incorporated. You'll want to add your cabbage now, and you'll also want to add your Swiss chard. These need to cook for a little bit. Blend all of your ingredients together. In Tuscany, they eat white cannellini beans. They're a white kidney bean, so I drained and rinsed this can. Now I'm going to add some tomato sauce to the Ribollita. You want to add about 8 cups of chicken or vegetable stock to your soup. So I'm adding one, then another, and make sure it's a good quality. I really like organic, and it really makes a difference in the flavor. So here comes the squash. The zucchini and the summer squash are going in. They didn't have to cook as long as that cabbage and the Swiss chard, and here go the green beans. I'm going to cook this for about another 20 to 25 minutes until all of the vegetables are tender. You'll always want to taste the hardest vegetable, which is the carrot. Now here comes the cannellini beans right at the end. You really don't have to cook them very long. Taste your broth, and I'm adding salt and pepper at the end, and you're ready to have this beautiful Ribollita soup. If I were to use bread, I would have shredded it up and added it at the end and cooked it for about 5 or 8 more minutes. The Italians love to drizzle just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on the soup. You've got to make this really soon.